Okay, so today we're diving into something pretty powerful. It's 1 Peter 5.
Oh, that's a good one.
It is this letter from the Apostle Peter to these early Christians, and they're facing like some serious heat, right? Like persecution under the Roman Empire.
Intense time.
It was intense. You think about it back then, just saying, hey, I followed Jesus.
Right.
That could cost you.
Yeah, big time.
Everything.
Friends, family, job.
Yeah, your whole life, potentially.
Yeah.
So you can imagine getting this letter from Peter.
Yeah.
It would have been like a lifeline, wouldn't it?
Absolutely.
Words of comfort, guidance in a time of just crazy fear.
Yeah, total uncertainty.
Uncertainty.
Yeah.
So what we're going to try to do today is figure out, what's in this letter that spoke to them back then.
Right.
And what can still speak to us today.
I love it. I think it's amazing. Peter's like, he starts out as this rough around the edges fisherman, and he ends up this leader, and he gives us this blueprint, right?
Yeah.
Not just for surviving hard times, but for thriving in them.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So where do we start?
Well, let's look at those first few verses.
Okay.
Verses 1 through 5.
Uh-huh.
And he's talking about leadership.
Yeah. And he calls the leaders shepherds.
Shepherds, yeah.
I love that image.
Me too.
It's like, care guidance, protection.
Yeah, but he doesn't just leave it there.
Right.
Like,
he gets specific.
He gets into the nitty gritty.
He does.
Like, what does it actually look like to be a good leader?
Yeah.
And he says things like, leading by example, serving willingly, not bossing people around.
Right.
It's like he knew there were going to be these power-hungry leaders.
Always are.
Who just want to control everyone. And he's like, no. That's not what it's about.
Yep.
It's about serving.
It is.
It's about humility.
Yeah.
It's about actually caring for the people you're leading.
So countercultural, even today.
Yeah, because we're told to lean in. Right?
Right.
Be assertive. Take charge.
Yeah.
But how can you be humble and lead at the same time?
Right. It seems like a contradiction.
Yeah.
But that's where I think verses 6 and 7 come in.
Okay.
Because Peter says, humble yourselves under God's mighty hand, and he will lift you up in due time.
Okay. So it's like the opposite of what we're told.
Yeah.
But it's not about putting yourself down.
No.
It's
about recognizing that there's something bigger than us.
Right.
A higher power. And surrendering to that.
Letting go of the ego.
Yeah.
And trusting that in the end, God will lift us up.
Exactly.
Okay, so for those early Christians, they're facing persecution. I can see how this would be like
totally
a comfort.
Yeah.
Like, okay, God's got this.
I'm not alone.
Yeah.
I'm not in control.
I don't have to be in control.
Right.
But what about us today?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Like, how does this humility thing play out in our modern world?
Well, think about the leaders you admire.
Okay.
The ones who really make a difference. Do they have big egos?
No, not usually.
Right. They usually have this quiet confidence. They listen.
They're not afraid to learn.
They're always learning.
Yeah.
And they really want to empower others.
Right. Not control them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's not about their ego. It's about serving something bigger
than themselves.
And that transcends any religion or belief system.
It's a universal principle, really.
Yeah.
It is. Now, there's another verse that I always find really powerful.
That's what's that?
It's verse 7.
Okay, yeah.
Cast all your anxieties on him because he cares for you.
Oh, that's a good one.
I mean, honestly, how often do you feel anxious?
All the time.
Right.
It's like a default setting sometimes.
It is.
Especially in our world, right? Everything's so fast-paced.
Yeah, and we think we have to carry it all ourselves.
We do.
But Peter's saying, no, let go.
Let go.
Surrender those worries. Trust that you're not alone.
Powerful stuff.
Yeah.
Not ignoring the problems, but finding strength outside of ourselves.
Finding a different perspective.
Yeah.
I think for me, things like mindfulness, journaling, help with that.
They do.
It's about acknowledging the anxiety.
Yeah.
But not letting it consume you.
Right.
Choosing how you respond.
Exactly. Healthy coping mechanisms.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, but things get kind of intense.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
In verses 8 and 9.
Here comes the lion.
There's the lion.
Yeah.
Your adversary, the devil, prowls around like a roaring lion, seeking someone to devour.
I mean, that's an image, right?
It's a little scary, honestly.
It is, but it's not meant to terrify us.
Right.
It's a wake-up call.
Okay.
Be alert.
Be sober.
Sober. Yeah, not just
literally.
No, but mentally.
Mentally, spiritually.
Spiritually sharp.
Aware.
Aware of what's going on around us.
So what are those lions today?
Oh, good question.
The things that, tempt us to get off track.
Yeah, the things that pull us away from our best selves.
Yeah, like what?
Could be internal stuff, right?
Okay.
Like negative self-talk, those doubts, fears.
I'm not good enough.
I'll never succeed.
I can't do it.
Yeah. Or it could be external pressures.
Okay.
Like needing to fit in, to have all the stuff.
The material things?
Yeah. Or even to compromise our values.
To get ahead. So we've got these internal lions, external lions.
Yeah.
How do we resist them?
That's where that foundation of humility comes in.
Okay.
And trusting in something bigger. Because if our worth comes from external validation, we're going to be so vulnerable.
To those lions.
Yeah, to those negative influences.
We need something deeper.
We do.
Some kind of wellspring of strength.
Yeah.
And that leads us to
verses 10 and 11.
Yeah, where Peter gives us this,
it's cute.
This amazing message of hope, of resilience. And after you have suffered a little while, the God of all grace, who has called you to his eternal glory in Christ, will himself restore, confirm, strengthen, and establish you.
Wow, that's powerful.
Yeah, no matter what you're going through, it's not going to last forever.
Yeah.
God's going to restore you.
He will.
He's going to strengthen you.
He will.
And you're going to come out stronger.
Yeah, transformed. It's acknowledging that suffering is part of life.
Right.
But it doesn't have to break us.
It can actually refine us.
It can, yeah.
Yeah.
Make us more resilient.
Now, I love how Peter ends the letter.
Oh, yeah, it's so personal.
You mentioned Silvanus.
Right, the guy who delivered the letter.
Yeah, he sends greetings from Mark and even shouts out the church in Babylon.
I love that. Yeah. It reminds you that this wasn't just some theoretical thing. This was a real letter.
A real letter.
To real people with real struggles. And then that kiss of love.
Oh, okay.
It's just this beautiful symbol of their unity.
Of their community.
Yeah.
So what we see today in 1 Peter 5 is this incredible wisdom on leadership, on humility.
On finding strength.
On resisting temptation.
Yeah.
On finding hope in suffering.
And it all still applies today.
I think so.
It's not just for early Christians.
Right.
It's for all of us.
Yeah.
No matter what we're going through.
So as you go about your week, think about these principles.
Yeah.
How can you lead with humility?
Good question.
How can you find strength in something bigger than yourself? How can you resist those lions that are trying to get you off track?
And remember, you're not alone.
That's so important.
There's a whole community out there, past and present, who've wrestled with these same questions.
They come out stronger.
They have.
Yeah.
Thanks for diving deep with us.
It's been a pleasure.
It has.
I always learn so much from these conversations.
Me too.
Yeah.
All right. Until next time.
See you then.